Hi guys, it's me, Mr. Bertoch, your incredibly handsome science teacher. And in this video, we're going to learn how animals and plants communicate. As I sit here in my office, I hear sounds, and they're real sounds, so you don't have to be concerned and wonder what's going on with Mr. Bertoch. There are sounds in my neighborhood from animals. I hear mostly dogs barking, like constantly, because they keep yapping at each other, including my own dog, which sometimes barks during a video, and then I'm like, oh. But what are the dogs doing? What are animals doing? What am I doing right now? Hopefully not barking. But as I talk to you, I am communicating. I am communicating information. And as humans, we are pretty sophisticated when it comes to communicating, aren't we? We have gotten really good at communicating using all kinds of fancy schmancy words. We have vast vocabularies and languages encompassing thousands of words, and we are able to express very complex, abstract ideas. Well, we are not the only ones that communicate. There are animals and plants all throughout the earth that communicate. In fact, pretty much all of them communicate in some way or another. So we're going to look at some of the ways that animals and, yes, also plants communicate with each other, members of their own species, members of other species, to warn them, to tell them of danger, to advertise that they have delicious nectar or whatever. So let's go to my example of a dog first, because that's obvious. We communicate by using our voices most of the time, although we use body language too. And if you're super smart, you might know sign language. So they're different when I say we communicate using our voices most of the time. We communicate using our voices. I guess we type too, right? And we write things. So I'm lying. I'm presenting false information to you. But one of the ways, let's just say that we communicate is with our voices. And animals do the same thing, many of them, like a dog barking. And when the dog barks, it is warning its people, its person, that the mailman is probably a mass murderer and is going to kill them. At least that's what the dog thinks. Every single day when the mailman walks up to the mailbox, the dog is like, there they are again, coming out to scope out my territory. And they bark at everybody who walks past their window or their yard, because they might be saying hi, or they might be communicating, go away, I don't like you, how dare you walk on my sidewalk past my fence. Some animals, like frogs, will chirp at night, calling out for a companion. And that's very common. Like birds might sing out for a member of the opposite gender, or even elephants do that, and meesen. Animals. What happens if I get up too close to a lion? Before it eats me, what does it do? Hopefully, it warns me, hopefully, of danger by doing what? It snarls, it growls, it bares its teeth. Yeah, all of these are ways of communicating to get back. You're getting too close, and I'm feeling threatened, and I'm about to pounce on you and eat your delicious human meat. Other ways, not so obvious, that animals communicate are with coloration, such as, for example, what does it mean if you see an insect that is yellow and black and is flying around and it looks a little fluffy? What's that communicating to you? That insect is communicating to you that it can sting you, unless it's lying, and some of them are lying because some of them don't really have stingers. But most of the time when an insect is yellow and black, that means it can sting. It's equipped with a stinger, and that warns you, that communicates to stay back. Well, what does it mean if an animal has red? This is common across the animal kingdom. Many animals, from insects to reptiles and others, have little red dots maybe on them. What does that mean? That might mean, very often it does mean, that it is venomous. It is communicifying that it has venom. And so again, it's telling you to stay back. And then cuttlefish, they are so cute and adorable. They are these really, really smart little animals that are related to squid and to octopi, and they can actually change colors in complex ways to communicate a variety of things. Different colors and different patterns mean different things, and scientists have been able to observe and study the color patterns of cuttlefish to maybe understand a little bit anyway of what they are trying to communicate. Well, what about plants? Do plants communicate? How do plants communicate? Well, some of the more obvious ways that plants communicate are with things like flowers. Flowers, the whole reason they exist is to attract insects and birds to them, because the flower wants the insects and the birds to spread their pollen. And so they are advertising, and advertisement is a form of communication, is it not? The insect, or rather the plants, are advertising to the universe that I, as a delicious flower, am full of nectar. Come hither, and I shall feed you my delicious nectar. And so the insects or the birds see the flower and they're like, ooh, nectar. And they go over there to get the nectar. And in the process of that, they are also covered in pollen, and they help to spread the pollen. But there are some other ways that plants also communicate that are more along the lines of how animals and humans communicate. And that is, they don't speak, but they do send out chemical signals. So plants will produce these things. You can't see them, but they happen all the time around you, called volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, VOCs. Okay, volatile organic compounds. When you attack a plant, because you are mean, and you attack your lawn with a giant lawnmower, you go out and decapitate all of the grasslings, all the innocent grasslings who are minding their own business in your front yard, and you come out with a big chopper and chop them all up. Anyway, the plants begin to send out, as soon as they are under attack, many plant species will send out volatile organic compounds, which are aerosol compounds that are sent out in the air, and they expand outward and they warn the other plants, hey, we're being attacked. And the other plants, as soon as these volatile organic compounds arrive, they respond. They begin to produce maybe antibodies, antifungal cells, or insecticides. They begin to create or mount a defense. So one plant can literally warn all of its neighbors that it is under attack, and the plants around it can begin to protect themselves. Communication in the environment, in the world, is a way that animals and plants can communicate ideas or information from one individual to another. often in the same species, but sometimes in different species, such as, for example, when on the savanna, one animal will see a predator and it will start to chirp, and all the other animals of different species will all respond and run away from the threat of the predator. We see it in plants and also in animals. Hi guys, thanks for watching my video. These rambling science videos where I go unscripted and just kind of barf up all the science knowledge out of my head are part of a series that go along with an online class that I teach, which you can sign up for if you go to handsomescienceteacher.com. I also have a whole bunch of free resources for homeschoolers. I have hundreds of articles on every topic that covers your entire science curriculum from 5th through 8th grade. I have online games and quizzes, all curated and written by this handsome guy, a science teacher with, well, three degrees, but 2 of them are in science. So it's targeted right to and directly to your science students. So sign up, subscribe to the channel, and I release lots of videos. Also, in addition to these ones, lots of little short videos that are like 2 minutes long that cover science topics. Those ones you don't get to see my handsome face, but they're still good videos and they're much more targeted, and those ones are scripted, so you don't have to hear me like you are right now going blah blah blah. The end. Subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.